Warthog Defense reported about the possibility of a civil war in Russia between Chechen and Ingush warlords, and it seems that the infighting is starting. In Ingushetia, 3 officers from the Center for Combating Extremism were shot and killed on a federal highway near the entrance to Magas. The assailants, who arrived in a VAZ-99 car, fled the scene after the attack. There are also reports of the disappearance of Adam Kamkov, the deputy head of the Center E in Ingushetia. This incident comes amid heightened tensions following remarks by Ramzan Kadyrov about an alleged assassination plot against him and a blood feud. In response, Ingushetian authorities have warned residents against reacting to provocative calls and urged them to think critically and not be driven by emotions. And before that, Sherip Alikadzhiev, ex-deputy PM of Ingushetia, Russia, has been attacked in his home in Moscow region. An unknown person has fired at least 4 shots and fled. 58-year-old Alikadzhiev survived and was taken to hospital in serious condition. Have interethnic strife and blood feuds already started in Russia? The conflict between Kadyrov and Russian Senator Suleiman Kerimov has already been named the most serious conflict in the last 10 years. There is a serious discussion in Russia that it could lead to a war between Chechens and Dagestanis. The interethnic conflict intensified after the shooting at the office of a marketplace in Moscow. A note from the Dagestan Interior Ministry said, "The blood conflict that the Chechen leader outlined today and accusations of organizing his assassination are seriously destabilizing the situation in the North Caucasus." And there is more. Gas station explodes in Grozny, Chechen Republic. This is not the first one. An explosion in nearby Makhachkala, Dagestan, took lives of 13 people on 27th September. After 4 days, the fire at the oil facility in Feodosia, which was attacked by Ukraine, was extinguished. Initial reports claim that around 9 oil tanks completely burned out, and another 4 were damaged. After the crackdown on Crimea's largest fuel depot in Feodosia, the Russian occupying power has found itself in some kind of logistical chaos, and tankers are now running in shuttle traffic to keep the Russian military armed with fuel. The resistance movement Atesh can gleefully note that the Russians, out of fear of new strikes, also feel compelled to change locations at least twice a day at their mobile gas stations for fear that otherwise Ukraine will attack them as well and make the fuel shortage even more acute on the Crimean Peninsula. Reports are coming in about a raid by Ukrainian recruitment officers during an Okean Elzy concert in Kyiv. According to various media outlets, around 50 officers and police arrived at the Palace of Sports to check documents of men attending the event, with some reportedly detained. In the Khmelnytsky region, raids by recruitment officers in clubs and restaurants is also reported. Russia has gone completely insane and is building monuments to Stalin. To the man who during the Soviet terror, according to the most conservative estimates, repressed 20 to 25 million people, of whom 5 to 6 million died as a result of their stay in the gulags. Today, a monument to Stalin will be erected in Russia's Vologda. The governor said it had been requested by the public. With all the understanding of the ambiguous interpretation of the role of the personality, we must recognize the great achievements, know the history of our country, honor and be proud of it. Because our history is a single and indivisible chain of interconnected, interlocked links of the historical process, each of which form the strength, spirit, and will of our great people, the governor wrote. I think it is a very important fact for those people who think that Russia was different, or that Russia will change miraculously after Putin's death. Friends, in Russia they will build monuments to Putin next to monuments to Stalin. Civilized humanity should accept the idea that the transformation of Russia is a long evolutionary process for many generations. For now, it is necessary to find methods of defense and counteraction against this barbaric world. There are still some who blame this war not on Putin's lust for power, but on Ukraine's thirst for freedom, said Ursula von der Leyen, the head of European Commission.
There are still some who blame this war not on Putin's lust for power, but on Ukraine's thirst for freedom. So I want to ask them, would they ever blame the Hungarians for the Soviet invasion in 1956? But there's no European language in which peace is synonymous with surrender and sovereignty is synonymous with occupation.
For the first time in over 25 years, NATO is set to review its relations with Russia, responding to the growing threat from the Kremlin. Defense ministers will meet next week to discuss the alliance's evolving stance amid the Ukraine war, as NATO has labeled Russia the most significant and direct threat to its security. NATO defense ministers meeting next week will begin to rethink the alliance's decades-old policy on Russia relations in reaction to the threat posed by the Kremlin. NATO-Russia relations hit rock bottom following Moscow's 2022 full-fledged invasion of Ukraine. In response, NATO labeled Russia as the most significant and direct threat to allies' security, while the Kremlin claims what it calls NATO's eastward expansion is an existential danger.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.